Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to today's video, which is on hormones and their functions. So I'll be going through quite a lot of hormones in these videos and what they actually do. So firstly, look at the hormones released by the anterior pituitary gland. So the first one is the growth hormone, which is involved in growth of bone cartilage and soft tissue. Then there's prolactin, which is involved in growth of mammary gland, milk formation and location. There's ACTH, which is involved in secretion and synthesis of steroid hormone from the adrenal cortex. Thyroid stimulating hormone, which is the synthesis and secretion of thyroxine. Follicle stimulating hormone, which is involved in the growth and development of the ovary. And LH, which is the ovulation of the mature follicle and synthesis and secretion of androgens. Moving on to the intermediate and posterior pituitary lobe. So in the intermediate lobe, you have MSH, which is involved in pigmentation, but does have an unclear function currently in humans. For the posterior pituitary lobe, you have oxytocin. So this is involved in uterine contraction during childbirth, milk ejection from the mammary gland, contraction of smooth muscle of the reproductive tract. You also have vasopressin, also known as ADH, antidiuretic hormone, which acts on the kidney and stimulates the absorption of water by distant tubules and reduces water loss in a process known as diuresis. Moving on to the thyroid gland, this is involved in regulating your base metabolic rate, your physical, mental, and sexual growth, stimulating red blood cell production, increasing protein metabolism, increasing blood sugar, maintaining water and electrolyte balance, and development of the nerve fiber and myelination. You also have calcitonin, which enhances the deposition of calcium ions in the bone, giving it strength. Moving on to the adrenal gland, so firstly released is aldosterone, and this is involved in the reabsorption of sodium ions in water, excretion of potassium and phosphate ions, and it's a salt-retaining hormone. The next one is cortisol, which increases glucose in the blood. It is anti-inflammatory, immunosuppressive, and increases gluconeogenesis. It also increases lipolysis, proteolysis, and inhibits cellular uptake and utilization of amino acids. So this maintains the cardiovascular system and kidney function and stimulates red blood cell production. You also have androgens, which increase pubic and facial hairs. And the final one is epinephrine and non-epinephrine, which stimulates the breakdown of lipid, protein, and glucose. The next gland is a parathyroid gland. So this releases parathormone, which increases the calcium ions in the blood. It also stimulates bone reabsorption of calcium ions by the renal tubule, and increases calcium ions absorption for digested food. You also have the thymus gland, which is involved in the development of the immune system, differentiation of T lymphocytes, and is involved in cell-mediated immunity and production of antibodies and humoral immunity. So I've got videos on my channel that talk about cell-mediated immunity and humoral immunity, if anyone's interested in that. Many videos are called "What is the adaptive immune response?" Moving on to the pancreas. So the pancreas releases two hormones known as insulin and glucagon. So firstly, glucagon stimulates gluconeogenesis. And moving on to insulin, this increases cellular glucose uptake and utilization. So it's a vital hormone produced by the pancreas, which plays a crucial role in regulating blood sugar levels and facilitating energy use in the body. This also acts as a key which allows glucose from the bloodstream to enter the cells, where it can be used for energy or stored for later. It also helps store the excess glucose as fat, and it can affect other metabolic processes like the breakdown of fat or protein. Moving on to other hormones. So the first one released by the heart is the atrial natriuretic peptide. So this is involved in decreased blood pressure and dilation of blood vessels. For the kidney, there's erythropoietin, which is involved in a process called erythropoiesis. Helps form red blood cells, erythrocytes, which create red blood cells. Gastrin, involved in hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen secretion. Secretin, water and carbonate. You also have CKK, releases pancreatic enzymes and bile juice. Then you have gastric inhibitory polypeptide, which inhibits gastric secretion and motility. That's just an overview of the different types of hormones you get in the body. So that's the end of today's video. So hope you had fun listening to this. More videos coming out soon. And thank you once again for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.